Welcome, kiddies! Yes, that's right, it's another story time at the Lucha Lounge. And let's get the business out of the way. This is MPW. There's a link to him, his channel, as well as links to the match that I'm going to pretty much refer to for this episode of Story Time. So this is from April 7th, 2006. And got to kind of tell you a little bit about what was going on at the time, or a little bit prior to that. I had been booking Uncut, being the matchmaker and the talent agent and match agent for a weekly show for like the last 16 months prior to this. And I had pretty much done what a booker's main objective or main goal is: create talent and create revenue, and not necessarily in that order, but you got to do that. Get attendance, all of that stuff. All the while making the locker room feel like you have a vision and they need to follow it. Anyway, I pretty much accomplished that goal. Anyone who's ever watched any of the shows can attest to it. Guys who've worked for me in the past, they can attest to it. So for like 16 months I had been booking. And about a year into my 16 months, I get told that they want to make a change in booking philosophy. And the office's reason was that I needed to focus more on my Saturday in-ring stuff. Focus more on that product than what I'd been focusing on. And they decided to bring in a guy by the name of Todd Diamond. And I've never had anything but the utmost respect for Todd. Todd actually got me into PCW at first. He actually gave me a look. So I got nothing but respect for the guy. I wish they would have brought him in a little differently, because they kind of announced him when I wasn't around, which makes the locker room kind of go, what gives? And on top of that, I was kind of remaining to help out. And I still had about 4 more months. I was building to a big show. Anyway, he took over, and one of the first things he wanted to do was change who had the title. He wanted to vacate it and give it to someone he felt was more of an established guy in the mind of the Friday people. That a Full Throttle guy, which is their Saturday show, a television guy, a guy who's been at it for a while, a vet, considered a veteran and a leader, should be the guy holding the belt, and it'll give that sense of respect for him. Okay, he had a short list of names. My name came up, and then he said, well, what do you think? And honestly, I was pretty okay with it. I wasn't utterly excited, but at the same time, I looked at it as a positive. I could help build more guys during my title reign. I could help guys along, bring them to my level, and at the same time, I'd be working twice a week. And I had some ideas of what I wanted to do with my career, and I felt working more would benefit me. And if I'm going to be at a PCW, I might as well do both shows. The match itself was kind of a standard match that we had created, a battle royal where pins, submissions, as well as over the top. We had thrown in the DQ also, where if you got DQ'd, you were eliminated. So we had a variety of ways, and I don't think this match was completely like that, but it was like that to some degree. We kind of did the first so many, they get eliminated pretty fast, and then you've got about 7. Here comes the weapons, and so on and so forth. And then you last till there's 2 left, and then it's kind of like sudden death, anything goes. No longer a battle royal. We did a lot of eliminations, telling the story. Getting so many guys over was the predominant part of this match. I wanted the guys to know that even if with me as a champion, I'd rather have everyone be a big deal. So me being champion would be a big deal because I've got a big talented roster. And it got to come down to me and Wally Darkmon. I've always had nothing but the utmost respect for him as a worker, as far as he's got natural charisma, and he's got natural timing, and he's a great character. I mean, he knows his part, and very theatrical, and I mean, he just takes it to the nth degree. But beyond that, he's a great talent. He can do a lot of things aerialistically and such. And his Wally Darkmon character at this point was getting there to where it was going to be extremely over. It was there for the most part, but it was like it just needed that push. So it got down to me and him, and we just put on probably another 10-15 minutes on top of the Battle Royal, so it's a pretty lengthy match for the most part. But we went for a little while, you know, about 10-12 minutes, just back and forth, really just trying to get the crowd to believe that he could win at any time. And I mean, we just built it and built it and built it, because I like matches like that where you just build and build and build and build, and it's like, oh my god, what can happen, what can happen, it can go either way, and then give them the big how we ended it. Winning the title was pretty cool. Anytime you win a singles belt, it kind of shows in some certain way that the company is behind you for the most part. And the best thing that came out of it was probably the introduction of Tavia, where I had kind of gone over, I really wanted her on the show, I really wanted to have her around, you know, it was an extra day to spend with her, and I could be doing my job and have her around me. You know, I liked having her there, so it was pretty important to me that I have her on there. And it was great because that was really where she debuted. Like, the last link is that intro show where she makes her in-ring debut, and it's you know, both days were pretty big moments in my wrestling career. So I hope you enjoyed that. Well, I've got a little time. I'm going to do year-end reviews, but I'm going to try to do them a little differently. Probably a report card style, or, you know, kind of like when you were in kindergarten, where it wasn't so much about the grade, it was what you do really well and then what you need to improve on. So I'm going to do that. Probably the next 3 videos, they're going to happen pretty quickly. And then I've got a YouTube challenge. The 4th video, hopefully before New Year's, I will bring out the YouTube New Year's challenge. And so look forward to that. Again, I appreciate everyone who watches my vids and comments and questions and sends me feedback. Anyone, I appreciate it. And I plan on doing some great things in 2008 and changing up this a little bit and giving you like even a more inside perspective of how wrestling affects someone's everyday life. So there you go. I hope everybody's cool. Stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy, but you know what? You are, because you're watching the Lucha Lounge.